Yeah, we are live back in effect, reporting or broadcasting from Casa de Warren. My name is Darius, one half of the RomeBros.
And the other half is Marcel, sitting over here. We do want to apologize about the audio. Last episode, no idea where that echo came from. As you can see, we are doing two bros, one mic.
Yeah.
Until we can get that sorted out. We might stick with this for a little while, though, because and the audio just sounds better with one mic anyway. But yeah, sorry about that if you watched the last episode and we're tearing your ears out over the very poor audio. That was not exciting, and I don't know how to fix it because I'm not a professional, and our editor is an editor. He's not an audio guy. So, hey, if you're an audio guy and you want to fix audio for us, comment down below.
Yeah, get that.
We won't pay you, but you can do it for us.
You can wear a toga while you do it.
You can.
Yeah. So,
in fact,
one of the perks.
We might actually pay you if you wear a toga.
Something to think about, yeah. So, something to think about if you want to bare your legs and edit some videos while you do it. That
is the crazy thing. So, topic of the day.
Yeah, we're talking Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Earhart. Now, we can't get her on the line. So, like I said, if you were watching the last episode, I tried for pretty much a whole week, probably at least an hour every single day. Not a ton of time, obviously, but a little bit of time trying to get Amelia Earhart or Cleopatra, just really anyone to get on the line. Was only able to get Sacagawea, and she was the last episode. So we don't have her as a guest. She, I guess, was too busy for us.
Not as easy contacting the dead as you may think.
Not
especially
that easy.
Without. While we're throwing out feelers for people to help us out, if you're into necromancy or any kind of clairvoyance at all that you may have, like, I don't know, crystal ball or a Ouija board, or
if you are a dead woman,
or if you are dead,
there's gonna be an email in the description.
Like a little body. Can we get a crawl? The editor,
editor
crawl?
Put the
well,
don't put a crawl. That's kind of dumb.
But if it's the same information, just on a loop.
Well, it's just they can just go down to the description. They don't need to. Okay. It doesn't need to be there. Right. There's going to be an email in the description. Feel free to email us any business inquiries you have, or if you have a Luigi board and we want to contact Mario or something, just, send an email, let us know what your profession is, and we can do that. And then, editor, put the email somewhere so they can see it.
I don't know, maybe a sports crawl then, maybe, like on the bottom. Like we could
just do that. Just this one time, though, and then just like...
Yeah, it's not a reoccurring thing.
Okay. No. It's like every 4 minutes it just just goes off.
Random sports scores.
Seattle Seahawks have 4 points.
Right, yeah.
Oh, man.
Viewers that may be playing fantasy football in the middle of their philosophy.
Who doesn't? What is more philosophical than sports? Is it ethical to beat the crap out of people for entertainment?
Oh, that's a good question.
Whether on the football field or in the ring.
I think if both people agree that there's a chance that they could get the crap kicked out of them, I don't think it's unethical at that point. Especially if you don't really have much else to offer as far as, skills, in society. If, you're not...
if you're good enough to punch someone, you can, move some pieces of wood to build a house or something. Certainly you can do something other than entertainment if you're strong enough to beat the crap out of someone.
Yeah, maybe manual labor, but you can't really buy a swimming pool.
Why do you need a swimming pool here?
Well,
not many people have a swimming pool. It's okay.
A lot of people that get the crap kicked out of them for a living have swimming pools and movie theaters in their basement and bowling alleys, and I think it's a fair trade.
You get the shit crapped out of you, but you get a movie theater. A private movie theater. See, I don't even care about that.
Yeah, it's man, I've got CTE, but, I have my own basketball court, so...
but, would you ever use... if I had a basketball court, the only time I'd ever use it is, if I was shooting hoops with my kid.
Yeah.
I'd just be let's go out and shoot a couple hoops, and it'd be, once a month. Maybe twice. It's how much are you paying for that... thing? Is that really worth? I guess if you have tons of money, then I guess it doesn't matter how much.
Yeah, and if you've got kids, you're going to be buying tons of things that are not really going to get used that often. Because a kid's interest, unless they're a savant or once in a generational talent, they're going to be into a lot of different things, you know, like.
So you're telling me I can never have a kid? That's what you're telling me.
No, that's what.
You heard it here first, folks. Big D's hot take of the day: do not have kids.
I personally, in this day and age, I probably wouldn't intentionally have a kid, like, with the state of the world.
Intentionally, but you would unintentionally have a kid.
Well, I mean, if it's unintentional, like, that's not really up to me anymore.
But you would do it.
Intentionally?
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally? I mean, you know, as you say, sometimes we make mistakes in the heat of passion, and I think that, you know...
Sometimes?
Isn't that how you say it?
We all make mistakes in the heat of passion.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I think that...
And if there's one thing you're passionate about, it's children.
I mean, they're cool. I get along with
They're cool, you would not say they're hot. You said they're cool.
Well, yeah, no, I would not say they're hot. That's very illegal.
You can say they're hot.
Very illegal.
It's not illegal to say kids are hot. Alright? Look at that kid's on the basketball court, he's shooting hoops, he's hot, you know? He's on fire! No?
I wouldn't say that. Especially if it's not your kid. Well, no, I mean, I don't know if it was your kid. That might even be worse.
Is it? Hey, yeah, comment down below. Yeah, is it worse to call your own child hot or someone else's child hot? These are the questions these are the philosophy questions you get on the RomeBros podcast. Another hard-hitting question. Is it considered adultery if they're dead?
I mean, no. Like, I wouldn't think so, right? Because it's just a corpse. Like, there's no spirit attached to
what I'm saying.
And then the corpse isn't giving consent, so it's not like you're engaging in this act. Like, I think it's really gross masturbation, is what I would classify it as.
See, I asked Jennifer at work. Maybe we'll ask her when she comes back on the show. She says it's very much adultery.
Adultery? So she would consider that cheating.
That's what she would consider that cheating.
Wow. I mean, it's definitely desecration.
I mean, it's not wrong. We're not arguing it's not wrong. Yeah. By the way, do not fuck corpses.
Yeah, no.
RomeBros does not endorse.
We do not endorse necrophilia of any kind.
Unless it's like you're just watching it. If you're just watching it, that's chill. But don't go out and do it. Though.
Yeah. We don't endorse necrophilia.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, I wouldn't consider.
But is it adultery?
I wouldn't consider it cheating. Because, like, if that's cheating, then is it cheating if you have, like, a sex doll?
That's right. Like, where's the line?
I would say
people who do think that doing it with a dead person is adultery, where's the line? Yeah. If you have sex with a sex doll, is that also adultery? Or is it, does a person be freshly dead? Would that be adultery? But if they were dead for a long time? Like, if they're just bones?
If you killed the person and then did it with them...
I don't think it changes anything.
Well, yeah, no, because it's still a dead body.
Yeah,
but then you're involved with a murderer and a necrophiliac.
We're getting away from the question there. The question is just, is doing it with a dead person adultery? Right? We don't need to touch murder in here. We're not worried about that.
I would say no.
Is it adultery? Well, there you go.
No, yeah.
RomeBros hot take, second hot take. Because we already had the other one. I forgot what it was. Second hot take.
Yeah, don't have kids. Don't sleep with dead people. But if you do, you're not cheating.
You're not cheating on your spouse.
You're not cheating. You're just masturbating very grossly.
Very disgustingly. Yeah. Yes, absolutely repulsive. Yeah. And should you go to prison for that? Probably, right? That's probably a crime. I mean, desecration of a corpse is illegal in those
you're digging up a body.
Well, you maybe don't dig up the body. Maybe you just find it there. Like, maybe just walk upon a murder. Right? Is that illegal? Wait, hold on. Right? Because obviously corpse desecration is illegal. But if they're not already in the ground... Is it desecration?
It's definitely tampering with evidence.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably right. So what if you just work at the morgue, though? They already know what happened. We already know the person was murdered.
There's no way that's
caught the guy. There's no way that was?
There's no way that's not going on. Like, of all the morgues that there are on Earth, there's got to at least be a few of those guys that are into that. You would think, because, like, what else would drive you to that profession, you know?
Well, just, like, a fascination with the human body, you know? Just, like, want to learn how it works. Maybe you want to help people get their justice. You know, they died and you want to help them.
Is that still as fascinating in year 5 as it is in year 1, though? Like, okay, another dead guy. How'd this guy die?
Hey, comment down below if you're a mortician. Let us know what keeps you going.
Yeah.
Because that is, it's definitely... I mean, what keeps most people going, though? You know, you just gotta find ways to make it enjoyable. That's what I've been trying to tell Big D over here. He hates his job. Thinks it's the worst thing ever. Absolutely despises it. And I'm like, you just gotta make it fun, you know? Just go in every day, just with a smile on your face. You know, something small happens, just celebrate it, you know?
And it's not necessarily... Like, I mean, well, granted, like, I don't want this to be misconstrued. Our job totally sucks.
No, it doesn't.
I don't want to say
it's so much fun.
But, like...
Have a great time.
Well, okay. Our colleagues, I really love our coworkers. Like, I like the stability that our job provides. But there are aspects of our job that are very difficult to deal with sometimes. So...
He's lying. Don't trust him.
I mean, but that's just a matter of an opinion. It's just my opinion, like.
And your opinion can be wrong. That's totally okay.
Well, yeah, which is fine. But like, I think that any obligation that I had, like, I could have a job like fucking being
a corpse. Sorry, I had to. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just saw the opportunity to take it.
But yeah, I would eventually hate that. But no, even like if I was a fucking like chocolate tester, I think eventually I'm like, oh man, I gotta go in and eat more fucking. Eventually, if it's something I'm obligated to do, I'm gonna end up hating it. It's just, I don't know, man.
What if you just don't view it as an obligation? Just view it as like you're doing it for fun. It's like when I go into work, I'm not like, oh, I gotta be here. Oh, I have to do this. I'm like, I'm here because I want to do it. I'm here because I'm having a good time. I'm here because if I wasn't here, I'd be sitting in my house doing literally nothing and being bored out of my mind.
Oh man, I mean, I guess that goes back to like, I haven't developed that skill of like lying to myself yet.
Well, you're not lying. I mean, it's true. I mean, if I wasn't at work, right? Like when I was in college, I stopped going to my classes because I didn't like them. I don't even know why I stopped. I think the part with me was that I didn't see the point of continuing with college. It just didn't make sense for my personal lifestyle, which isn't very financially dependent. I was like, why am I going to college to make more money when I don't need more money? So I kind of lost interest in college, and I just stopped doing stuff. I just slept all day, and it sucked. I didn't like sleeping all day. It was just so boring. There was nothing to do. So having a job that you can go to that gives you something to do every day, it's fantastic. I really like it. It's a lot better than the alternative. So I don't feel it as lying to myself. It's true. I would just be sitting at home doing nothing if I stayed home.
I mean, but you've got hobbies though, right?
No. I watch YouTube and I build Legos, man.
That's a hobby. Legos.
You can't build Legos for 8 hours straight.
Well, no, yeah, but you could alternate. You could go But what I was ultimately, you're right. If you don't work, there isn't going to be anything to do because even if you have hobbies, you're not going to be able to afford them if you don't go to work.
Well, even if money was a non-issue, right? I mean, what would I do all day? If I just won the lottery and I had $1 billion.
Oh man.
Right.
There'd be so many things you could do.
I would definitely still go to work. That's right. I probably wouldn't work as much. Probably work more part-time, maybe 6 hours a day.
That is you. So if you won the Mega Millions, you'd be one of those guys that still kept a full-time job.
No, probably not full-time. I'd probably go part-time. But I don't. I mean, maybe I go full-time. Obviously, there's no way to know. But I would definitely still work because if I'm not working, I have no structure to my life. There's nothing to.
I would find things to do, my man. I would find some things to do.
Find some things.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, I'm a pig, So there's so many different foods you could try if you were rich.
Yeah, I don't like food. See, that's the great thing about not liking food. Yeah. Save a lot of money, and you start enjoying your job because what else would you do?
Yeah.
So, pro tip: teach your children, if you do have them, even though Big D says you shouldn't, teach your kids to not like food.
So can we unpack that? Did something happen?
No, I just don't like food.
So there was never a super terrible experience that you ate something and you're like, this is never happening.
No,
again.
My mom had troubles getting me to breastfeed, so it was from birth.
So it's you from the moment you have been on this earth, you're just I don't really want to eat.
No, I don't really like it. Just not.
That's
not
nuts,
enjoyable.
Bro. Dang. So even the things that you do eat, you don't. It's not good. You're not fuck yeah, dude. There's never.
No, I don't think there's anything that I've been that I've eaten and I've been oh,
blown away.
So good.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't eat much, so
yeah.
It's kind of hard to say if there is something out there that would do that to me, but I mean, I don't nothing that's blow me away. I'll eat something and I'll be this is pretty all right. I mean, cereal. Anything with milk. I like milk a lot.
Yeah. I
call milk God's nectar. It's so fantastic. I mean, that's pretty good. But like as far as like being blown away or like being like mesmerized or like having any sort of like experience from food, never had that.
That is, I envy you in a way because like you're so.
No, you don't.
No, dude, you're free in a sense that like you're like. Say you just pull into the parking lot of a grocery store and they just so happen to be like at lunchtime, so they're like frying all their stuff and like, you know, those delicious smells that are wafted in the breeze. You're not manipulated by that. Like you can drive past a McDonald's and like not even flinch, but like, you know, go back to the subject.
You're telling me that like
kids,
if someone goes past somewhere that smells of food, people are gonna want to like
be tempted to go get some of it? Dude, have you never like been downwind of like when McDonald's like first starts doing the fries?
No.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you didn't like smells either, though.
I don't know. There are a lot of smells that I don't like, and I don't like when there's a lot of different foods in one area, and then the smells start like mingling together. Like that's fucking gross. But like, dude, no, like McDonald's on the bridge. Like, oh my god.
I mean, I haven't smelled that, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if I would want it. I mean, I do like McDonald's fries, so maybe if I smelled them, I'd be like, dang, I kind of want some McDonald's fries.
It's very hard to resist.
But no, I've never like seen food in like a stand or smelled food and been like, oh, I want that. I have definitely driven past McDonald's and been like, or I don't even drive past it. Like I'm going home, and I'm like, do I want to grab McDonald's real quick, or do I want to go home and just make my chicken nuggets at home? And I'm usually able to just convince myself to not waste my money and go home.
Yeah.
But like I don't really drive past the McDonald's. I'm more like driving home, and I'm like, should I make a quick pit stop at the McDonald's? So no, I never really had that problem. Although let me tell you, not liking food definitely has its drawbacks because there's a lot of gatherings that revolve around food. Like if you want to go out on a date, guess what? You're going to dinner. You want to go like have a potluck with the family? Guess what? There's going to be food there. You know, like pretty much any gathering of people, even if it's just one-on-one, it is going to involve people or food in some way. And if you don't like food, it's really hard to do those things. So I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. Liking food's definitely better in society, even though you do have to get tempted into throwing your money away, I guess. But I'd say that's better than
I don't know, man.
Not being able to socialize at the same level as everyone else.
Are you grossed out by food?
Most food. Anything that I don't eat is pretty gross to me, yeah.
Yeah? So, like, watching other people eat food is pretty gross?
Pretty disgusting, yeah.
Now, I can agree with you there. Like, especially if it's, like you said, like, something you don't like, and then, like, it's always been, like, I never knew how to articulate, like, just wanting to be by myself when I was eating until I saw this movie as a kid. It was called Girl Interrupted. It was about all these chicks that were in an insane asylum. But the one chick, like, her insane quirk was, like, she would take all of her meals in her room, like, by herself, and then, like, when she finally explained it, she was like, okay, so we're alone when we shit, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you're alone when it comes out. Why would you not want to be alone when it goes in?
Well, I think the reason you're alone when it goes out is because, like, you know, your private area is exposed. You gotta put your pants down. I think that's what most people want to be alone. I think if you could, you know,
so, like, if you
push it out without... I mean, probably at this point in society, you probably still want to be in private just because it's so ingrained in society. But I think if society went where you weren't exposing yourself to go to the bathroom, I'm pretty sure people would not really care.
See, I always thought it was because of, like, you know, the smell, obviously. But, see, like, for us, though, like, the smell on the other end is offensive as well, you know? Like, I don't want to smell you making the poop.
Yeah, I mean, I think the smell of, like, just normal food probably bothers me the same amount as the smell of poop.
Yeah. So, like, if somebody's, like, making, like, fucking creamed corn, or, you know, any kind of corn, you know?
Like, you eat corn, man. What about, like, corn chips? Like, corn chips?
Sometimes. But, like, just that, but, like you said, like, that, I would rather smell shit. You know?
I don't know about rather, but I would put it in the same tier.
Yeah. So, like, that's what, I mean, I totally don't understand, like, how that became a thing, like, with everybody, you know,
it's just, it's like, social.
Watching each other make poop.
I mean, when you put it that way, it sounds pretty bad.
It's disgusting.
But it's just, like, it's something that everyone has to do, and it's something that most people can bond over, you know? Be like, oh, you want to try this food? You like this food? I made this food. It'd mean a lot to me if you tried it, if you ate it. Yeah. That's another thing about not liking food.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, you deal with that too, right? People trying to get you to eat shit.
Yeah, like, hey, man, you should, but, like, it's... Okay, let's flip the scenario here in which this is gonna be pretty... You talk about fucking hot take here. Okay.
Hot take.
Okay, so you show up to a gathering.
Okay, showing up to a gathering.
They've made pigs in a blanket.
Editor put whatever he described on the screen for.
Yeah, and we can do the recipe too. We'll get, because we just got a cookbook from work. So yeah, flash the if there's pigs in a blanket and the employee cookbook. Flash that page.
Flash it right there. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so you show up. Hey, have these pigs in a blanket. And you're like, oh, no thanks.
No thanks.
I don't like that.
I don't like food.
But you really should. Put this inside of you. Do it. Put this in your body.
They don't say
right?
that.
Right, but that's basically what they're saying. So if you flip the scenario, right, and it's a date, and you're like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, then we're in dangerous territory. And, like, I don't think people take that into account when they're trying to make you eat stuff. It's like, hey, man, my body, my choice, you know?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, if you're one of those people that ask someone multiple times if they want to eat something, stop.
And especially if they're like, no thank you. Like, if they're polite about it the first time, you know what I mean? Like, don't press the issue because you're technically, like, you know, assaulting.
Food rape.
Yeah, dude.
Rape? Hey, new term. Coined right here. When it goes big, this is the origin of it.
Yeah, dude.
Frape.
Yeah,
When someone forces you to eat food that you don't want to eat.
No means no.
When it comes to food or sexual activities.
Especially, yeah.
Or putting shoes on. Don't force people to put shoes on either. Not cool.
Yeah, why would you care?
Well, a lot of employers won't employ you. No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Now, I kind of get that. Like, if, you know, it's your establishment, and it's like, hey, man, you got to put on a shirt. I don't think I would care if they had shoes on, personally. You know, but, like, yeah, I don't want to see your taco meat, though, you know.
Got to put a shirt on. Oh, but so... Shoes, totally fine to have off. Shirt, that's where you draw the line?
Yeah, well, because I just feel like, you know, we're in an age now where, like, you know, we should be more about equality, you know, and,
then why not let the shirt off?
Well, if ladies have to wear a shirt, we should too.
Well, let's just say ladies don't have to wear a shirt.
Well...
I mean, I've done some nudist activities in my past.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm all for public nudity.
Yeah?
It's not...
I mean,
as long as you're not like
look away, you know.
I mean, that's obviously part of the problem with it. Is it's just like, but that's because of society, right? Because in society we tell everyone, don't let people see you naked. So that way when you see it, you're like, oh, what is that? So you can't look away. But if it was just normal, like you saw it like every day, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, obviously it's just like you shouldn't, you know, do anything weird. Like if you're naked, don't like, you know, do the helicopter or anything. You know, that's weird. Don't do that.
Stretch before you leave the house naked is what he's saying.
Yeah, don't make it weird or anything. But like, I don't have any problems with it. Obviously, I don't do it because people look at me funny and I probably get arrested in most situations.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, don't.
Yeah, man. But we got way off topic there.
That's what it's all about. That's what the podcast is all about.
Yeah, it's just philosophy.
We just philosophize about being naked.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it, like, unless I was a store owner.
Unless you were a store. If you're a store owner, then you have a problem.
Don't come in my store.
Don't come in my store if you're naked.
Yeah. Like,
well, what about this one? This is what I would always love to do, right? Mormons knock on your door, right? You look at the people, you see it's Mormons. You just take off all your clothes and you just answer the door. Right?
That's one way.
You're in your house. You can be naked in your house, right?
Yeah.
But, like, can you be naked in your house if you were walking past a window? Right? Because it's like, it's kind of a gray area of the law. It's like, is it okay? Like, you're in your house. You're naked. But if other people could look in...
and see you naked.
And, like, you're not making an active effort to conceal that, is that bad? And if, like, you look out the door, let's say you're in, like, an apartment complex... So there's like on a street where like a lot of people could look at you. It's just those two people at the front of your door, and you know that they're both of age adults, right? Is it fine to just greet them naked?
It's your house. I would say yeah. I would think so. Now if you like grabbed them and pulled them inside,
don't touch people.
Yeah, that might but I don't think that would be anything you'd get in trouble for. I don't see.
Don't think so.
Yeah,
I think you could possibly could. Because, like, because they're not in your house, like, you're opening the door, like, you're exposing yourself to the public, even though you're in your house, the public is technically still seeing you naked. So I think you probably could.
They came to you, though. They're soliciting you, though.
Yeah, that's why it'd be funny. Yeah, but the thing is, the law doesn't care about, what's fair, right? Or what, a normal person would think would be realistic, right? The law cares about what's written down.
Yeah, what's the law?
So it's like, if the law says you can't expose yourself to the public, and you open the door and you're exposed, I mean, again, if you're a lawyer, let us know, is that illegal? I mean, but the safe way to do it is just open the door normally. Find out they're Mormons. They obviously are going to want to come into your house and tell you about Jesus. They come in, you say, give me a minute while I go to the restroom. Strip down, come back out, totally naked.
Back out naked, yeah.
And then the door's already closed. Yeah. No one's going to see you. The only people going to see you are in your private abode. That one has to be. Again, if you're a lawyer, let us know in the comments below. But, that one has to be legal.
That sounds pretty airtight right there. I think you covered all the bases on that one. I personally, I empathize with the more. Now, I don't let them in and talk to them by any means, but I do empathize with their mission. I told you off camera, my grandma was a Jehovah's Witness, so I know about going door to door soliciting people for would that be unsolicited religious propaganda that you're dropping on them?
Yeah, in most cases, if you're knocking on the door, why you're soliciting unsolicited.
Yeah.
Who wrote English? Who did that? How was that?
That's a.
But yeah, it's. I just don't like people going door to door. Like, if you just want to go out, just sit in a church and listen to whatever, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. But start knocking on people's doors and stuff. That's about. Where's the line, right? Because obviously you want to tell people about something that you believe to be the case, right? Like, I do that all the time. I have beliefs that I want to share with other people and help them understand the world the same way I do, because it works for me. Why wouldn't it work for you, right? So it's like, where do you draw the line? Because obviously you want to tell them about it. But at what point does it become, unwanted solicitation, right? Knocking on the door. Obviously that's too far.
That's way too far.
But if you're just at work and you just mention it, it just comes up in conversation, that's obviously not too far. Yeah. So where's the line?
I think when you're imposing on someone's privacy or their downtime, because you said at work, in passing in a conversation, that's out in the wild, it's fair game.
The grocery store. There's the people standing there, waving the flyer around.
Oh man, those are tough, especially around Christmas time.
Because in those ones, you're not really the only people that you're really talking to are the ones that come up to you. Obviously you're talking about it and it's out there and it's loud, but you're not forcing it upon anyone unless they actively want to engage with you.
A lot of religions, though, that's part of the mission, is to get more people to be religious with you,
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because in certain religions, they think that there's only so many seats in heaven. So it's why are you recruiting people?
Really?
Yeah, dude, Jehovah's Witnesses, especially,
there's only so many seats?
Yeah, what are you telling people for, then, dude?
You'll lose your spot, right?
Yeah, if it comes down to it, you know.
I did not know that.
Yeah, dude. I think Mormons are like that too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's only so much room in heaven, apparently.
You recruit someone that takes your spot.
Right. But then, is that the test? Or it's you gotta be so selfless to where, you gotta still tell people about this awesome thing, even though you don't know if you may get to partake in it. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not a Jehovah's Witness.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the fact that you spend your, entire weekend knocking on doors. That could also have something to do with it. We're not sure.
Yeah, that's...
might be related in some way. That's definitely a crazy time there. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting line to draw there. Where you draw the line between just conversation about religion and telling someone about how you feel and how you view the world, to forcing it upon them.
Being pushy, yeah. That's a tough... If you have to keep steering the conversation back to religion,
what defines steering back? Obviously a normal person, but we have to write this down in the law.
Yeah.
How are we going to define that?
Stub your toe and you're like, Jesus, and then somebody's like, oh yeah, he is great.
Well, I say, whenever someone says Jesus, I say, what about him?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I hit him with that.
See, that's the opposite. Quick. You're steering the conversation there and then, man. You ask that to the wrong person, you might end up in a long-ass conversation, dude.
You're not wrong. One of these days I'll probably eat my words.
Yeah, they'll be like, what about him? I'm let me tell you.
With this pulled Bible out of your pocket.
Man, a lot of people that are really that into it can quote their favorite Bible scripture which that's always weird.
Well, what it mean is like there's like 18 different versions. How do you know the one you're quoting is the right one?
That's what makes it so hard for me to, like, I don't ever, like, whatever someone else believes, like, that's fine with me. Like, don't push your beliefs on me. I won't, because, like, it's very arrogant to be like, okay, this version of this book is the right one and all of you guys are wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like...
Certainly.
That's very arrogant, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to know what's right. You know, otherwise it wouldn't be religion. It would just be fact. You wouldn't have to have a whole book about it. Well, I guess you would have a book about it, but it'd be a textbook and not a Bible book.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it wouldn't be different versions and variations. I mean, like, obviously with, you know, any text, there would probably be some corrections as language progresses.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, you don't need all these testaments and, like, it's just, it's nuts, man, to think about, you know, all of the different things that are sins, but, like, just to different people. Like, you know.
So, what about desecrating the corpse? Right, it's adultery, it's not adultery, which is a sin. So is desecrating the corpse a sin? What does the Bible have to say?
Well, it's definitely
about
a sin
desecrating the corpse.
In certain testaments, it's a sin to spill seed, as they say. So, like, if you're, like, you know...
You just, like, have a wet dream, you're just a sinner?
I don't know how wet dreams factor into that.
What
but, like,
the heck?
I know if you're jerking it, you're a sinner.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I mean, that's,
so...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how a wet dream...
I mean, what if you just happen to be sleeping in bed with a dead person? Like, let's say your wife dies next to you, okay? And you have a wet dream.
I don't see how they could get you for that. But, like, again, if there's any pastors in the comments, you know, if you have a wet dream next to a corpse, is that a sin? But I don't see how it would be.
Hey, but we're not professionals,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
This is not religious advice.
Yeah.
Religious advice. This is not legal advice or religious advice.
Yeah, either.
This is philosophical advice.
Yeah. You know, so don't fall asleep next to a corpse. Now, if you fall asleep next to someone and they die...
In the bed, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's not...
Right,
really...
like you fall asleep, you're both living, they die in their sleep, you roll on top of them, wet dream.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
I don't see how they could fault you for that. That leads me to, or reminded me rather of a question that I've always asked myself. Like, I'm sure that it's a fear for a lot of women, like, to where their partner, like, dies during, you know, like...
Wait, hold on. Why is this women specific?
Well, like, for, like, if they're with a guy and the guy dies on top of them?
I mean, hold on. First of all, the girl can be on top.
Right.
Okay, let's just be very clear about that.
Well, okay,
why are men not worried about
I've seen
this?
a few movies where guys will die in the act, and then the lady's
what
just like...
What movies are you watching, bro?
Have you ever seen that in a movie?
No! What the frick, dude?
Well, I feel like that happened in Set It Off. There was another movie. I've seen that at least in 2 or 3 movies, where the guy will die during the act.
Is he getting shot, or is he just having, like, a heart attack?
A heart attack, yeah. It'd just be like it'd be an old guy with a woman that's way too young for him to be with, and then he just, like...
Why are you watching these things?
Set It Off was a very popular movie. I feel like that happened in Set It Off. It might have been a different movie.
That.
It might have been... Well, it's about this movie. These ladies, they're poor. They're tired of being poor, so they decide to start robbing banks. And one of the ladies is sleeping with, I think, like, either her boss or, like, her landlord or something like that, because, like, to pay for her brother's tuition. Then, like, the guy dies on top of her. And it was, like, this whole big thing.
Like, you know, honestly, hey, comment down below if you're a woman. Let us know if you've ever had that fear until just now. Or before just now. Because, frankly, I never even considered this as a possibility until this very moment.
Well, yeah, man, as a kid, like, I thought
that was
a very...
Thinking about these things.
Very common thing, like, you know, like... Well, not a very common thing, but I've always wondered, like... I always thought that it was a possibility, you know, that it would happen to me. But...
That you would die? Or that a woman would die on you?
That I would die. But, like...
Okay, not even a thing in my head that ever crossed my mind.
Yeah,
Go on, though.
But yeah, I always wonder, like, the inverse of that. Like, if you're the guy and the lady dies, like, is that more of a catastrophe or an accomplishment? You know?
Well, this is the philosophy you come here for, folks. Is it an accomplishment or a disaster if a woman dies while you're performing sexual intercourse with them?
Yeah, it's like
that is a good question.
Yeah,
that is a fantastic question. I did not see that coming at all. I'll tell you that much. But I think it's a great question. I would say it's a tragedy.
Well, it's definitely sad, but like, is it like kind of something you could brag about a little bit?
Oh yes, I mean if you're a guy, you're certainly bragging about it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like dude, I fucking killed her. You know?
Well, maybe not like that, but like yeah, I plowed that bitch so hard she died, bro. Something like that. Like yeah, you're certainly gonna tell your homies about it in a positive light.
Right,
you don't want your homies to think that it was bad.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I mean, like in the moment, you're gonna be like, hey, that's pretty bad. Because one, you're fucking a corpse now, right? That's pretty bad. Because you probably didn't realize she died until a little bit after.
Right.
So you're probably going on a dead person, and then you're gonna realize you were just doing that, and that's gonna fuck you up, bro.
Yeah.
So I would say pretty bad. But then obviously you're gonna tell your homies it was cool.
You have to worry, like, did I call 911 fast enough? Am I like a suspect now?
Well, yeah, you're certainly a suspect. Yeah, you were there with her when she died.
Yeah,
like,
there's no way you're not a suspect.
But I mean, it's not murder, right? I mean, was it murder? If you're oh my god.
Yeah, is that murder?
Are you a murderer? But if it was consensual sex.
Well, okay, is it manslaughter though? Because like you can still go to jail for accidentally killing somebody.
Oh my gosh. I mean, is it, like, reasonable to expect that you were the cause of the death? I mean, like, if, you're just plowing them so hard and they just get so excited that their heart stops, is that your fault? Right? Is this, like, you're just doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
But, like, if you're plowing them and, like, you hit a vital organ, right? Or, like, you breach the uterus or something and that ends up killing them.
Or just, like, okay, different scenario. Like, you're trying something new, and, like, you drop her, and, like, freak accident, bam, breaks her neck.
I mean, that one, certainly you could definitely be tried for manslaughter. I don't know if you would be convicted, but I think certainly, I would think there's a decent chance that you could be at least tried for that.
Yeah.
Unless, like, you were close with her family, because obviously the family's the one that press charges. So, like, if you're close with the family of the girl, then they might not, and, they'd understand. But, like, if you were just, like, a one-time hookup thing, I think there's a decent chance you're going to be going to trial. I'm not saying you're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Probably a decent chance you're going to go to trial, that one.
Because, like, I mean, this is a bit of a lot of a stretch. It's not even a bit of a stretch. But, like, if, like, say me and you, if we planned to go or, like, if we planned a bank robbery, right? And
hey, hypothetical, we're not planning a bank robbery. We are not going to rob banks.
Yeah.
We don't endorse criminal activity of any kind.
I'd never make it in jail. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, we plan to do the bank robbery. We go to rob the bank. The security guard shoots and kills you. They can try me for your murder.
Really?
Yes, because we planned to do the crime that led to your death. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I
feel like it would be easier to nail you for bank robbery or attempted bank robbery, right?
Well, that too. Like, they throw, like, yeah, when you do a crime, they don't just pick, like, the worst crime. They charge you with all of them.
I guess so. You may as well, right?
Yeah, so, like,
that's crazy.
So, I don't know, in that sense, like, you agree to hook up with someone, and then she dies from the hookup, are you liable? Because...
Good question. Lawyers... And even just if you're not a lawyer, let us know what you think.
Yeah, what you think.
Hopefully that never happens to you, by the way.
Jail,
God forbid that.
Yeah, but maybe if it does, you can think back to this podcast and just call 911 right away.
We're going to end up in a courtroom.
Yeah.
We're gonna be evidence. We're going to be Exhibit B, dude.
Yeah, because the lady's parents are like, he listened to RomeBros, and he tried to kill her. He wanted to get on RomeBros.
We will not talk about you. We probably will, actually.
We would.
We probably would. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
But we're not encouraging anyone to intentionally kill their partners.
Or, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't commit crimes. Yeah. Don't rob banks. Don't kill people.
Yeah.
And don't plow so hard she has a heart attack.
That's
that's the great advice you get on the RomeBros podcast, folks.
Yeah. Life decisions.
Life advice. Remember,
life advice. Yeah, there you go.
This is our motto. Dog jumps off the bed. Philosophy.
I like that. Because it's open-ended,
No, it's closed. There's nothing that can come after that. That's the end of it.
Well, I mean, it could mean whatever you want it to mean,
Well, it literally just means dog jumps off bed. Philosophy.
I like it.
Good, because that's our motto.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I mean, we could, like, sell T-shirts with the dog jumping off the bed with no text or no, like...
Do we have philosophy under it, or...?
Okay, yeah. The dog
that would be such a good T-shirt.
Yeah, dude. I'd wear that.
I would totally wear that, too. Hey, if you would wear a dog jumping off of a bed, or even a couch.
Or if you have pictures of dogs jumping off of beds that you would like for us to use.
I think it should be more cartoony, personally.
Well, yeah, but we still use the outline of the shape of your dog.
Okay. Yeah, hey, and then you would be able to say, that's my dog, on the RomeBros philosophy T-shirt.
See that shape on that shirt?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if we're getting that in, but write that down somewhere. I'm not going to write it down, but if we ever get merch, that'll be the first thing on the merch. Yeah. Will be the philosophy dog.
Yeah, man.
Now, are we going to have to change our profile picture to a dog now?
A dog?
Everybody's so confused. Like, it's RomeBros, but there's a dog?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Well, I mean, we could, if the dog's in a toga, like, you know.
Toga? Okay.
The little, like, leafy crown.
Hey, if you're an artist,
and you
draw us a dog in a toga with the leaf crown.
Yeah.
And maybe jumping off the bed. Doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
If you don't want him to be.
Yeah.
Hey, we might, and then as long as you're okay with it, we'll use that as our new logo.
Yeah.
Which will be sick.
That'd be pretty incredible.
That would be great. Again, just email it to the email on the screen right here and in the description below.
In the description box. Oh, sure.
That would be absolutely fantastic. Well, let's totally switch complete gears here.
Okay.
Got another story that we can probably just zoom off of. Dishwasher.
All right.
Totally screwed. So my girlfriend was just doing the dishes. I think that's what she was doing. And the sink started clogging up. Right? Not good.
That's the worst.
So naturally, you stop doing the dishes and you hope to God that it just goes down. Right? That's your first thing. Is you just like, okay, let's just stop.
Yeah.
See if maybe it'll just fix itself. Didn't fix itself. Didn't go down even in the slightest. Like, it didn't go, drained it super slowly. It wasn't draining at all.
Like a sink full of...
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting.
Oh, man.
So, we're like, okay, we gotta call the landlord. So I put in a ticket to the landlord. I'm like, hey, sink's clogged. Need you to come in and fix it, right? And so naturally, my girlfriend does is instead of doing the dishes in the sink, she puts them in the dishwasher, right? Well, I'm sure if you've ever had a clogged sink and you're a plumber or something, you probably know that this is a very bad idea because now the dishwasher got clogged and it is now full of disgusting water. So when the landlord maintenance lady came over, right, when I put the ticket in, it was only about the sink. So they came over. Now they're being slapped with this dishwasher issue, too. They weren't prepared.
Well, hey, since you're here.
Right? Yeah, well, I was like, well, we tried to run the dishwasher, and now that's bad, too. So luckily, they were able to get the sink running again. Dishwasher is still clogged.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we're going to send someone out to get you a new dishwasher. Because it looks like you got an old model, and it's filled with water. It's 22 dishwasher.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, they'll be there. This was on the weekend, so they said they'll be there early next week. That was 2 weeks ago. We don't have a new dishwasher.
No! I'm thinking this was today.
No.
No.
No, this was Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that was a while ago. So, we got to take all the dishes out and wash them, and then I'm going to put another ticket and be like, hey, remember that time you told me you're going to get me a new dishwasher?
Yeah, dang. But then one of you guys will get to take the day off, yeah? Because you got to be here for them to install it, right?
I hope not.
I would have to be here for them. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. They're going to be digging it. I got to be there.
I mean, what do they need to be here for? They're just going to bring in a dishwasher and put it in.
Well, yeah, you got to let them in, though. Stranger
there's a little box when I put my ticket in that says, you're allowed to enter my apartment without my permission if I'm not here. And I always check that box. I don't care if someone comes. What are they going to do? Steal my stuff? I got renter's insurance, all right?
Oh, nice.
I don't have any problems.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's very cheap. It's like $100 a year.
Really?
So, oh yeah. I mean, I don't cover too much because I don't have much stuff.
Yeah.
I only cover like $20,000 or something. But yeah,
I mean that's something though. Shit.
It's very cheap. Yeah.
Cover your expensive electronics at the very least.
Yeah, I mean that's what I did. Like, I added up the cost of my electronics and then I was like, yeah, just cover that. I think I probably need to change it. I probably need to add a bit more because I have a lot of Legos.
Yeah.
Probably adds the value up a little bit, so I probably should reconsider that, but I'm never going to do that. Let's be honest. I'm not ever going to do that. That sounds like too much effort. So,
Man, so, what do you guys do? Like, paper plates and paper... That's what I
mean, they were able to undo the sink, so we just been washing them in the sink.
Mm.
That's what we've been doing. So, no, nothing too crazy. Like, it didn't, drastically change your life at all. We usually wash in the sink and it makes the dishwasher not that great.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of cool to get a new one. It's like, hey, it wasn't that great anyway. We can only use it with, we had a bunch of dishes and we're too lazy to, wash them by hand.
Right.
Because, it did not do that great of a job.
Damn. Man.
Yeah.
That's, man, I'd rather clean a toilet than do fucking dishes.
I would say, too. Yeah, I would agree with that. Unless, the toilet's, bad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did I ever tell you about what happened at the bathroom at my license office job?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, great story. So working at the DMV is my first DMV job. I wasn't the manager, just a little league clerk, and just working at the counter, processing people's titles, giving them their plates, and it just starts smelling like someone put off a stink bomb. Right, like someone came in and dropped a stink bomb. Like, I've been on the bus before in high school, right? I know what a stink bomb smells like. Right, I'm like, man, someone dropped a stink bomb in here. That's disgusting, but it'll fade out, in a little bit. So it starts to get a little bit worse, right, as you expect from a stink bomb. Right, it gets a little bit worse, and then it dies out, right? Well, it never started dying out. It just kind of kept getting worse. And it's like, what's going on? Right, and people, customers are starting to notice. Because at first, customers, aren't going to say anything, and they want to be polite. Right? They don't want to hear it, but, people are saying, you smell that? You smell that? That smells awful. And everyone just in the entire office, this smells awful. What's going on? And then the manager comes up from downstairs, and he's like, yeah, we need to get everyone the frick out of here. We have a situation. Now, I never saw it myself, but apparently the downstairs toilet exploded, and the entire room, the entire bathroom, was covered in shit.
Oh, no.
Like a quarter of an inch thick, just, plaster of, ceiling walls, mirror, door, everything was just covered in crap. And it, I can only imagine that it was just a fountain. If someone was there to watch, it would just be just a fountain of shit just shooting out of the toilet. Right?
No.
Luckily, no one was there to see it, but what was really funny was the supervisor, not the manager, the supervisor, right before this all went down, they were the last person to use the toilet down there.
Oh, no.
So, she claims that she didn't do anything different, that she just went in there, took a dump, and then flushed, right? That's what she claims. But obviously, around the office, she was the one who made it explode.
I'd quit, dude. I
think they were closed for 2 days. They had to come in and clean up. They wiped the bathroom.
There's I cleared out a building one time, but it wasn't with the smell of poop. It was the smell of chemicals, in which we touched on this at work with but I didn't work there much longer after that.
They have to let you go after you cause a lethal chemical reaction.
I opted to clean a different building, but I wasn't gonna show my face after they all had to stand outside in the cold.
Oh, you just left yourself? They didn't fire you?
No, they didn't fire, because I worked for how, at the end of the day, people will come in and empty the trash, and, they're pushing those big bins and stuff.
Yeah.
It was that, but, I just went to a different... I think I started cleaning employment security after that. Because this was at the Division of Natural Resources. I was, I made an unnatural...
So you willingly left after that?
Well, I asked if I could clean a different building. I didn't want to have to make eye contact with all these people.
Well, did they know that you did it?
Yeah, they knew I did it.
Oh, okay. Well, then, that's...
They had to call an ambulance for me.
Well, maybe not everyone saw you,
They fucking knew.
All right.
They knew. Because I made a scene, too, because, I was struggling to catch my breath, and, there's the main building, which is the Division of Natural Resources, and there was this other building there, which I don't know what kind of, agency they were, but, it was just, files and stuff, and we only had to clean, their foyer area, basically. You wouldn't go back into, the cubicle areas, but, I rang the little bing bell for the receptionist, and I was like, can you please call me an ambulance? I'm struggling to breathe. And I'm, sweating and crying, and, there's snot. And then this old black guy comes out, and at this point, I'm sprawled out on the floor.
Yeah.
And he's cupping my head.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Yeah, that's total stranger. I never met the man before. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die. And he's like, you're not gonna die, son. It's okay. There's an ambulance coming. I was like, no, I'm dead. I'm gonna die. And I sit up. And I don't know why, but I spit on the floor. I was just like, I'm dead. He's like, calm down. You're not gonna die. I'm like, I'm a fucking janitor. I'm gonna die in this goddamn... I'm, losing it, but, and then they stretcher me out. And, my wife now at the time was my ex-girlfriend, and her aunt, and like her aunt worked at the building, and like so she's outside in the cold, like just like what the fuck even happened, you know, and like all these state workers are just looking at me being willed away, and then of course now like I'm totally conscious, and like I know that the ambulance is there and I'm gonna be okay, and I'm like, man, I'm just like I can never work here. I can't never show my face.
I probably would still work there. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. It'd be kind of fun, like a good story. It'd be like, yeah, I was that guy that almost died and got everyone out of the building. Hey, I don't want to brag. It's kind of a big deal, you know.
Oh man, that shit was embarrassing, dude. Like,
I don't like getting embarrassed.
It was cold as shit that day, dude.
Hey, it's all right. I mean, if you had cold as shit, I mean, apparently when we went out for that fire drill, it was only like 34 degrees. It wasn't even drill.
Oh,
the fire
man.
Was it this week? It was this week,
yeah, I was
right?
glad I was at home for that.
Yeah, we went out. It was like, I want to say it was like 34 degrees. It definitely wasn't freezing. It might have even been like 40 degrees Fahrenheit for all you Europeans watching. So above freezing, and like all my coworkers were like, oh my god, it's so cold. I'm like, it's not even freezing. What are you gonna do when it's like 12 degrees outside? Oh.
Well, see, but you're from a much colder climate.
It's not though. Like it doesn't get below freezing very often. And where I'm from in Washington, because I'm from, there's like Washington kind of divided into two. There's Western Washington and Eastern Washington, and Western Washington is bound between the mountains and the ocean. So it's like a temperature-regulated area. Like,
nice.
Most of the year, it'll stay between like 40 and 60. It doesn't drop below or above, well, I guess it goes above 60 quite often. In the summer, it'll kind of go like 70, 80, even 90. But, I mean, you get like maybe 2 snow days a year. It doesn't, like it rains all the time, but it won't snow because it doesn't get cold enough. So it very rarely, like I've definitely never seen it get probably colder than 20 degrees. I want to say in Washington. It's probably the coldest I've ever seen or heard. Obviously in the mountains, yeah, it's gonna get cold in the mountains.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Western Washington, in like Seattle, Big Harbor, Tacoma area, does not actually get that cold. Eastern Washington, yeah, it'll get cold.
Yeah.
But it's still not as cold as here. I mean, in St. Louis, it's been in the negatives before.
Yeah.
I've never, even in Eastern Washington, never even heard of it getting in the negatives.
Really?
Yeah, and it doesn't get hot there either. Like it gets.
See, you would think.
I think they've had a couple 100-degree days, but I mean, like here in Missouri, I mean, you get like a couple 100-degree days every single year, you know. Whereas in Washington, it's like 100 degrees one day. This is crazy, the highest thing it's ever been in a decade, you know. So
was it hard getting used to humidity here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, humidity. I mean, in Washington, I guess there's still humidity because it's very wet and the ocean's right there. But it's like it's only humid when it's like, you know, a normal temperature, like 70, 60 degrees, you know, 40 degrees. Like, you don't really notice it. It's when it's, like, really hot and humid.
Yeah.
That's when it sucks.
Yeah.
And it's never really hot in Washington, so you never really get the really hot and humid. And then where it is hot in Eastern Washington, it doesn't get humid. So, yeah, you definitely never really experience the humidity. I mean, it's not as bad as it is in, like, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
That's when you go to... I mean, my dad would describe it before I went there as, like, you could chop the air with a knife.
Yeah,
you know, and that's accurate.
Yeah.
That's anyone who's been to not St. Louis, New Orleans. That's where I went.
Different kind of heat in the South. It definitely.
Like you get off the plane, you're just slapped in the face with air, and you're just like, "What the frig?"
Yeah. Thick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very, very thick.
Yeah.
Probably people can live there though. I mean, you probably just get used to it though, right?
I guess, man. I couldn't see myself living in the South.
I mean, certainly not. No.
You know.
Definitely gets too hot, too crazy. Too warm. I mean, even the Midwest is pretty hot. I think it's hot and cold. I mean, I don't know. It definitely just. I mean, it's not too bad.
I wish our winters weren't so fucking breezy. You know, like it'll be like 20 degrees and like all the trees are whipping, and it's just like Jesus, man. Like this wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for this breeze right now.
That's not. I don't know if I mean, I don't go outside really ever, so I don't really have these problems. Got nice AC and heating in my apartment, so
yeah. Well, as a filthy smoker, you know, sometimes I have to excuse myself when the weather is not so pleasant, and
sucks for you, but you shouldn't smoke. Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You have to go outside when it's hot and cold.
Save your money. Save your money. Save your breath. save your clothes, save, your fingernails.
Fingernails?
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Well, especially, if, you're smoking, you get, the yellow stains and...
I've never smoked, so I don't know.
And then, your fingers don't smell good, you ever want to do the whole, hey, what's that boop trick? And I got stinky tobacco fingers, yeah, kids.
But fingernails, specifically, does it rot your fingernails? Because you're not
well, no, it's not
shoving your finger in the cigarette or anything.
But if you're cupping them, you'll have the little yellow tar stains on your nails. Yeah, it's all around bad. Bad for your teeth.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah. You
for
ever
all you non-smokers out
meet
there,
a lifetime smoker over the age of 50 and they just look like a piece of leather? Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Leather. How's that going for quitting that? You doing good?
Yeah.
Bad? Not good?
I'll have my good days and bad days, man. It usually just depends on how things are going on the phone, man.
You gotta,
can't
let it get you down, man.
I know you're not supposed to, and I know it's not personal, but it's just certain conversations, man, where, if you feel like they should be over and then they're not, that's when I get mad.
My gosh,
That's when I get mad, when it's okay, we're 20 minutes in now, and if I have to define a yes or no question for you on an application, you know what I mean?
Those ones are always funny. Right here it says, is this for a business or an individual? What should I put there? I was I don't know. I'm not the one applying. What are you asking me for? Is it for a business or an individual? I don't know how to rephrase that for you, lady. What do you mean? Are you asking for this for a business or just for yourself? And I'm I think it's my business. What do you mean you think?
Yeah, it's what, who asked you to do this? Why'd they ask you to do it?
Why are you even doing it in the first place if you don't know what's going on?
And I just feel if that's a hurdle, right now, that's the hurdle. It's what do you, when shit goes really wrong? What do you...
It's not your problem. See, I just laugh at them, man. People, call them the stupidest questions. I mean, in the moment, I'm, face palming, so I'm oh, you freaking... But then, you kind of realize, okay... I do this for my job. Obviously, it's super obvious to me, right? It's not as obvious to everyone else. It still should be pretty obvious.
Yeah.
When it says, is this for an individual or a business?
Yeah, or yes or no.
Yes or no question.
Do you pay dividends to this division? Yes. Have you ever written them a check? It's...
Do you pay them? Yeah, yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yeah, it should be obvious, but obviously it's
but no, you should open a business and... be in charge of people's kids for 8 hours a day. I just don't.
Yeah.
Where's the logic?
But I just laugh at it. I'm just I don't think it's funny, Yeah. This person's so crazy that they don't know how to answer yes or no question. Hey, that's funny to me. I get a good laugh out of that. But apparently you don't. You don't get a good laugh. You get upsetty spaghetti.
I get discouraged in humanity.
See, but so here's what you gotta do. You just gotta lose all your faith in humanity already, so that way you can't go any lower. So if you're already at the bottom, then you gotta call about someone who doesn't know the difference between yes and no. It's, you can't go any lower. You're already at the bottom.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
It's
so...
Can't be disappointed if you don't expect anything.
Exactly. Just have no hopes, no desires. Remember I was saying that. Have no desires, No worldly desires.
Yeah. But it's hard when you, want stuff.
Well, I'm saying if you don't.
Yeah.
If you don't want stuff, then you have no desire. And then you don't... that was one of my reasons I dropped out of college. So I was what do I want? If I had a lot of money, what are you going to do with money? You're going to get stuff that you want. And I'm what do I want? I want a house.
Yeah.
Maybe I want a kid. And, a computer. That's it. That's all I need. I'm what am I going to college for? So I'm going to make $100,000 a year when I could just work for 4 years and make enough money to buy a house in 4 years.
Yeah.
So, I'm not really one to desire much, if anything. I'm just
free.
I'm just a guy.
You're free is what you are, man.
Or I'm
not, bogged down by it.
I don't know about, but having no desire as well, it's you're empty inside, You have nothing there. You don't have any wants, you don't have any interests, you don't have any feelings.
But I mean, coming from someone who wants practically everything,
right?
I would definitely say that I'm empty as well. That's why I'm trying to fill.
Maybe if you're just empty either way.
Yeah.
May as well just have one. Like. If you're gonna be empty either way, do the cheaper one. Hey, there's your take of the day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could have saved a lot of money, but
lots of money. Being empty inside.
Damn.
Everybody wants to be. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
The song I wrote there.
Seems like that's I don't know how long it's been. Like, are we timing this one?
What's your phone say?
It's 1:58.
Oh, well, folks. Looks like we've been going right around time.
Yeah?
Time ran away from us there.
Right. Well, hey, this episode's been about Amelia Earhart.
It has, yes. We started there, and we got to poop,
and
nudity,
we touched on
and Mormons.
Yeah, necrophilia.
Dog.
Dog, yeah. We got to
end the episode. Dog jumps, that's how we're going to end it.
Okay.
Dog jumps off bed.
Philosophy.
That's going to be, so I'm going to go over there, I'm going to get ready to send it, and then I'm going to, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
Send us an email if you were any of those professions that we were talking about.
Yeah, if you're right down at the bottom here. After the
editor, put that right there. And hey, it's been a pleasure doing this. This is always a good time. We'll see you. Oh, they cannot. That's awful. Okay. All right, get ready to say the line.
All right. Dog jumps off the bed. Philosophy.